If you came with a user manual, what would it say on page 1?
I was trying to think of answers the other day, and I found like the instruction would be the magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding.
Oh, okay, yeah, that hits. Hello and welcome to Finding My User Manual, a podcast all about learning how to be human, especially when no one handed you the instructions. I am your host, Tigz Rice, and I am an empowerment photographer based in London, UK. And today I am joined by the fabulous Connor Wells. Hello, nice to see you.
That's the first time I've ever been called fabulous. I'll take that.
I'm sure I've called you fabulous before. I feel like
you, I think then.
Maybe, yeah. It's one of those ones that pops out of my mouth far too... I don't even know where it came from. I don't know where it started. You are fabulous, though.
I'll take that.
It's nice to see you this side of the camera because you are normally behind the camera producing this podcast.
It's weird. I've been sat on that chair for like all day today. So
you have.
Stepping in front of the camera for once.
You've been doing a lot of podcast recording lately, haven't you?
So many podcasts. Literally launched one. Started for first recording day of a new one yesterday in a sauna on a boat. Bit different today.
A little bit different.
And then another one 2 weeks ago, the first episode launched. So many podcasts.
It's the year of the podcast.
It really is.
It's so nice to actually be back in the podcasting sphere because I've missed it myself.
I know, right?
Let us give you your proper ego boosting introduction. So, for those of you who have not met Connor, Connor Wells is a UK-based commercial and lifestyle photographer, videographer, podcast producer, and video editor. Over the past 6 years, Connor has leaned into his passion for creativity, not just as a job, but as a daily practice of observation, learning, and creative problem solving. His camera has taken him across the world, creating content for an impressive range of clients, including Modball, the Useless Hotline podcast, Sneak, and Chicken George Jr. Whether he's behind the camera, deep in the edit, or producing long-form conversations, he moves seamlessly between fast-paced commercial environments and more intimate human-led projects, capturing moments that feel real rather than overtly polished. The ability to wear multiple creative hats has allowed him to build a career that's both flexible and sustainable in a constantly evolving industry. And also, why I've asked him to be the producer of this podcast. So thank you for stepping out from behind the camera today. It is such a privilege to share this podcasting moment with you.
Pleasure and privilege.
I think this is actually over time, I think this is the third podcast session that we've done.
I think so, yeah.
One of them with you actually asking the questions.
Yeah.
But actually, I think we've never really talked about this topic. So if you came with a user manual, what would it say on page 1?
I was trying to think of answers the other day, and I found like the instruction would be the magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding.
Oh, okay, yeah, that hits.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
Yeah, just like it's hard to sum it up, but yeah, just the magic is on the other side of any hard work, I think. And there's a lot of hard work, but it's not with all of this jobs. It's not just pressing buttons.
No, I mean, yeah.
Cameras don't take good pictures. We do. So yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hard work. Go the extra mile, and then the magic will follow.
You've always been, I mean, for at least as long as I've known you, I think we were discussing this earlier today, actually. I think it's 3-ish, 4-ish?
3 or 4 years.
We're somewhere around that. But I mean, I've always known you to be a really damn hard worker. Have you always been that way? Or is it something you've had to sort of lean in and learn?
I think it's always been that way. But with what we'll talk about, I'm sure a lot, having autism, it sort of gives me, it's like my superpower. It's like my tunnel vision. And I think that definitely gives me a bit of drive. I'm always motivated and driven because my day job is my hobby that just seems to pay the bills. So
Excellent hobby.
Yeah, it's a hobby that keeps the lights on. So I'm just naturally driven with certain things. Other things I'm definitely not.
Oh,
but
yeah. I mean,
the things I'm interested in, hence that tunnel vision, I just go 100% on it.
So I think interestingly, we both come at this from very different places, because I'm late diagnosed. I got mine in November 2025. So this is very, very recent. We're recording this in the January. So I'm 2.5 months in. You are one of the small number of people I know that actually got diagnosed while still in the education system, right? Like,
Sort of in the education system. I was a nursery teacher.
oh my gosh, so it was after then?
Yeah. So I went through all of primary school, of secondary school, college, but then when I started working my job at the time, which was a nursery practitioner, started working with children who were on the spectrum, and just started noticing behaviour patterns in me that I saw in them and saw in me, and that's when I was like, there's something there, I think.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it was when you were in education. But I mean, yeah. So it was seeing children within your work environment. That, I mean, what was it? What was it that you picked up first? What was the initial like, moment?
Mostly eye contact. Eye contact I hate. Still getting used to it 29 years later. But yeah, mostly the eye contact, word repetition, and then just like, not obsession, but fixation on certain things.
I don't know about you. I'm very, very good at making eye contact when I'm listening to someone. So I can listen intently and but the second I have to speak to someone, it's gone.
Yeah.
It is gone. So yeah.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
And how was your diagnosis journey? Because I mean, there are so many people going through it now, but I mean, so you've been diagnosed?
Must be about 7 or 8 years.
Yeah. Like, what was it like back then for you? Do you remember much of it?
Yeah, I sort of just approached my doctor, went to the doctor's surgery and just said, look, I've got these thoughts, like I've looked into it, I think there may be something there. They referred me to a psychiatrist, should have referred me to like a psychologist.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was fun. And then, just had like one meeting with a psychologist. Then they referred me to this place in Letchworth. I think it's closed now, but that was sort of just a conversation. And then a few days later, you get like a written form saying, yeah, you're autistic. And then that's it. As an adult, there's not much support. You'll get a few leaflets and that's it.
Yeah, I think I got my report through. It was very detailed, actually. I think it was 18, 19 pages. It was long.
Mine was 2 pages, and it basically just said, you have high functioning autism. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, mine went into a lot of detail. 18 pages is a lot of information to be written about you. But I think in terms of, you're right, there isn't a huge amount of support in terms like going forward. So I think even for me, there's been quite a lot of processing of like, okay, I mean, really, it's also why this podcast kind of came into fruition, I suppose, because I'm still trying to put into place what all of that might mean for me. What does autism mean to you personally? I mean, apart from the stereotypes and assumptions that we all have about autism in itself, how do you view your autism? I mean, you've already said you feel like you have superpowers within there.
Yeah, for me, it's my superpower. Like, I'm part of a group chat with a bunch of like other like business owners, and I think a few of them have got it, and they talk about it, and they say, how does everyone else constantly need like their 7 or 8 hours of sleep? We're fine on 4. Like,
yeah,
I feel fine on 4 hours sleep. Or if there's something I'm interested in, like my mum, for example, would say, if let's say, for example, we went to a fairground ride, my brother would be enjoying the ride, I'd be looking at the mechanics of it, trying to figure out how it works.
I am absolutely
same with like cameras. Like, I would learn everything about my camera.
What do you know what? So I think we would have learned would have leaned into cameras probably roughly around the same time. When I picked up my first, I mean, not my first camera, I can't remember, it wasn't even DSLR, but like when I picked up cameras and I was like, you know what, actually maybe give this photography stuff a go. YouTube did not exist. Like, I was reading
YouTube
books.
was 2008, I think.
2008, yeah. And I remember going into the library, picking up some books, and there was a website that I found, and I was I had to know how depth of field worked. It wasn't just enough to go, this lens, this level of depth of field.
This sensor size, this
Yeah.
affects it.
And I was like, no, I need show me the physics. Like, I need to see calculations. I need to see the inner mechanics of this camera. I need to know. I need like all of it, like all, apertures, the works. Was it the same for you?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I had, in secondary school, my mum got me this tiny little Sony point and shoot, and I think there's a photo of me on Instagram with that in my hand, and that's me at my prom, and that was me, my entire prom, just taking photos and just playing around with the settings, just figuring out everything about it.
I was that kid in the era of like Facebook when people used to do like go out on the weekends and then the next day someone would upload all the awful photos.
Make a Facebook album.
Yeah, the Facebook album. I was the one that brought the camera, so it was always my camera, which meant I got to go through them. I mean, thankfully for everyone involved, I'm a serious empath, so the really bad photos, they didn't make it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh man, that was power back in those days.
It was, yeah. If you were the camera person, that was the equivalent of being like designated driver. You've got the power. It's like,
absolutely. Are there any misconceptions about autism that you'd like to gently correct?
I think a lot of people feel like autistic people don't feel certain things. Obviously, there's no stereotypical autism. Everybody's different. That's why it's a spectrum. You could have ADHD, you could have Asperger's. They don't really refer to that anymore. They sort of call it high functioning autism. You've got people with autism who are completely non-verbal, can't and need literally round the clock care. And I think a lot of people, there's a stereotype that autistic people don't feel like certain emotions.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely the complete opposite, because I think autistic people can often feel too much of certain emotions, like empathy. Like if someone's sad, an autistic person will feel sad because they're sad, and feel sad because they can't do anything because they're sad.
Other people's pain.
Yeah.
It's like almost feeling too deeply at times. Yeah. And I think it's hard to describe that to people who haven't really felt it either.
Yeah, there's always like the memes going around of like a girlfriend or a significant other explaining what's wrong, and it's like, no, don't try to fix it, try to listen. But an autistic person will try and fix any sort of solution to any problem, kind of thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like having to ask, do you actually want help? Do you want a solution or do you want sympathy?
Yeah.
Which one do we need? And I definitely have to lean into that sometimes. I'm like, yeah, let's fix it. I can do this. I can help.
It really helps with like the problem solving aspect of everyday life, I think, because you will figure out the quickest and easiest way and certain ways to do things. There's like something where like Google will actively hire lazy people because they'll find a quicker and easier way of doing something.
My God, yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Do you see your autism showing up in like problem solving then through your career? Like, when has being neurodivergent helped you in your career?
Definitely like with like editing. I will find like just little life hacks of like
flow
tricks.
state.
Yeah, flow state. Yeah, like just with even with just the simple things of editing, I'll find a trick and a solution to solve a problem. Like, yeah, it's really good for like the thinking on the feet and like problem solving of certain things.
Hold on, give us an idea, example of a hack then. So for any creatives listening, what are you editing in?
Final Cut Pro.
So
love
video
one-time payment.
Yeah. Give us a Final Cut Pro hack. What's something that you've
let's say, for example, I've got a shot, subject is perfectly exposed, background is looking a little dark. I will just mask the subject, invert the mask to the background, and just brighten the background a little bit.
Oh, nice.
If I don't have like the lights to light up, I'll find a solution to fix it.
I feel like there's so much hidden away in video editing. I mean, we've been talking about this quite a lot today because it's 5 o'clock. We've been here, podcast 4 of the day.
Yeah.
But we have been talking a lot about things like tech and video. And one of the key things that I have found along video editing is I actually really love editing to the transcript. So, with a lot of the sort of AI, although generative AI hasn't been so helpful for me, the editing to AI and being able to cut out filler words and everything, oh my gosh,
so
it's such a good thing. The amount that has sped up my editing has been incredible.
There's a tool that I use which I'll use for all of these episodes of podcasts, giving you now a little peek behind the
Tell me
post-process.
everything.
So I'll like edit a podcast, upload it to this site that I use. It'll transcribe it. It'll do show notes, chapter markers, like key phrases, title suggestions. I never really use, but also it'll make like suggested clips or hooks for it. And I'll go into the transcript, find that like time code, add that into its own little project file in my actual editing software, and then I've got a whole trailer of like cool clippable moments to go at like the start of it, or like an episode.
Amazing.
And then also removing not too much on podcasts, but maybe like the clips, but removing like ums and ahs and pauses. Such a game changer.
I mean, you spend so much time doing podcast editing as well, so yeah, that must be a huge time saver.
Absolutely.
Are there any other tools that you've really been loving? Like, we might as well geek out a little bit while we're here.
The stuff that they've been adding into Adobe Lightroom CC, because I've never used Classic. I've never even installed Classic. I just went straight to CC because any photo I take on my camera, I can send to my phone, and then like a few minutes later, it's on my desktop version. So and vice versa. So everything's just available to me whenever I need it. But all like the AI masking stuff, like this one I use particularly like for female portraits, polished portrait. So it'll like smooth skin on face, smooth skin on body, enhance like the white part of your eyes, enhance like your pupils, soften hair for males and all that sort of stuff. Like you got darken beard or darken eyebrows, texture hair. Like it's so cool. Like obviously sound like a right boomer, but back in the day you'd have to like meticulously draw a mask and stuff. And it was so time consuming if you tried to do it all in one take.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of background goes in and then you got to start again. And it's just long, but now it's just click and done.
I do not miss the days of the point. What was that? I can't even. It's been so long since I've used it. It's the one that's in Illustrator. Where you do the points and then it like
connect the dots and stuff.
Oh my gosh, this is going to bug me. When I remember what it is, I'll make sure it goes in the show notes. But yeah, sort of the vector, selecting via vectors and having to get those perfect cutouts. Versus now being able to use a mask and actually being able to pick out things like landscape, subjects, like hair.
Yeah, it's the same for like Final Cut and video editing. So I like to put a lot of like animated text behind a subject. Previously, it used to be so hard masking a moving subject. I've now got this thing called AI rotoscoping. If there's like a full person head to toe in frame, I can literally stickman kind of draw on it. It will finish the rest. And then you just track that clip, and then you can just remove the background from it, duplicate the clip underneath, remove that plugin, and then you've got the text underneath that sandwich between the two clips, and you can put it behind someone, which is pretty cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's, no matter how long I work in creative software, there is always something to learn. There's always new features, new things. And I think it's what I'm loving so much about pushing into video at the moment, is just picking out all of these incredible new things that didn't actually, then they're not in stills.
Yeah.
So
it's not, that's true. As much as like there's so much AI slop, and there is a lot of AI slop at the moment, there are some good tools that really help like speed up like the everyday workflow.
Absolutely.
Even just like to admin, like I'll run all my emails through ChatGPT, like rewrite it in like my tone of voice to make it sound, if I need it to sound more formal, because I'm so laid back. I think that's also one of my things with autism. I also think on journey on self-discovery, I think I have a lack of dopamine in certain things.
Let's talk about that one.
Because I obviously I get excited about things, but nothing sort of, you don't get that spark up here. So I'm trying to figure that all out at the moment. That's kind of like a self-discovery kind of thing.
Do you know, I find that so interesting. Actually, this came up today, and we were going to talk about it in another episode, and we ran out of time, so we didn't talk about it. But one of the things that I had mentioned was autistic glimmers. So, and I was saying this morning, like, is it something you've experienced? So, I mean, I also have ADHD, so I have raging dopamine at some times and absolutely none at others. But there is a neurodivergent experience called glimmers, and it's the only way, I mean, the way I described it to you earlier was it is literally like gold, liquid gold, like running down my body and my entire skin at every single skin molecule contracts, like every hair stands on end, and like it's like goosebumps for your entire body, whilst also like, I don't know, you feel like a unicorn's like blessed you with like a glitter bath. But I'm guessing then that that's something you've maybe not
I
experienced.
haven't really experienced that. I'll occasionally get like goosebumps on your arm if like a certain song is hitting. Like
Yeah.
if my headphones are like perfectly at the right level, there's no background noise and everything's just like dialed in.
Yeah.
But it's very rare now. Very rare, I think.
That's so interesting. I find it so interesting hearing other people's perspectives on how they live and experience and, you know, take in maybe the same surroundings.
Yeah.
A lot of what we do is so sensory as well, like in terms of sound, light, pressure, and often like the pace of stuff we're doing. How do you navigate that around your autism? I mean, you specifically spend a lot of time at events, festivals. I mean, events specifically, I'm thinking in general for you. Does that affect you in any way? Do you have ways to manage that?
Or like wearing earplugs is pretty cool. It keeps me like locked in because I can definitely easily get distracted.
Yep.
So I'll either just have earplug things in, or even just AirPods sometimes.
The noise reduction on the new ones is incredible.
Yeah,
I hadn't realised until, I mean, I've just upgraded to the newer, I mean, they're the standard AirPods, not the Pros. The way they block out background noise,
so
the
good.
tube,
Yeah, best thing ever.
It's life-changing on the tube.
Love it. Yeah. It really, really is a game changer, and just keeps me like locked in, keeps me in that flow state kind of thing. Like that's also a thing with like the autism, like you get that sort of flow state. That can be kind of detrimental, especially if you love your job and you can become sort of a bit of a workaholic. But then I see it as like it is that tunnel vision, but it's also something that I'm adamantly and passionately interested in. So I never really see it as work.
Okay.
I always think of it as like, cool, I'm just doing my hobby.
Be honest with me. What is the longest hyperfocus you've ever got stuck in? Because, so the other day,
I think I edited a wedding, like a whole wedding day, in the space of an hour and a half, and I didn't even open another tab. My phone was on a wireless charger the other side of my office, and that's all I did.
Just before Christmas, I emailed my business mentor and I said, I can't remember, I can't remember what day it was, but like we weren't meant to be talking, and it was like 7 o'clock. So I just sent a message going, you know, hey, respecting your hours.
Yeah.
Can I tell you some good news? And then I put my phone down. And the next time I looked at my phone, bearing in mind I sent that 7-ish p.m. The next time I checked my phone, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I had honestly got lost. He had replied within 10 minutes going, yeah, would love to hear some great news. Tell me all about it.
Yeah.
Honest to God, did not even think about my phone for 11 hours.
Yeah. I'm usually quick with replies.
You, to be fair.
Usually pretty rapid.
Unless I'm like, please, can you call me? And then it's 6 days.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think that's a business thing as well. Texting's always easiest. Like to gear myself up for calls. Not you personally.
I won't take it badly. It's fine. It's fine. Do you know, I think as much as I know that generally speaking, most autistic people hate the phone, like phone calls are the worst. I think I get so caught up in like so many meanings of what something written can be. It's easier for me to just pick up a phone and go, hey, can I ask you the thing in question, so I can also hear the tone of voice that is intended in, so that I can pick up on any subcontext. Actually, funnily enough, in my autism assessment autism assessment had actually finished, and I was just chatting with the psychologist that had done it, and she said something to me, and we were just talking around, and she made a joke. By the way, it's like, is that sarcasm, or like was that actually what you meant? And she was like, it was a joke, I'm so sorry. Picked up the pen, started writing again. I'm like, next week I'm getting that diagnosis. I'm like,
yeah, that's the thing. You see so many things as black and white. Like, for example, let's say you say to me like, oh, let's meet up next week, we'll go get a coffee, and I could be like, I don't like coffee.
Yes.
And I'll just see it as so black and white.
Yeah. And like,
I do love coffee. This is number 4.
well, this is the thing. We'll be like, we'll get coffee, and I'm like in my head going, it's okay, you'll get hot chocolate.
Yeah, that's
Because
the
like
thing.
I have to tell myself it's fine, you don't have coffee.
Yeah.
Or like but it is so much easier just to say to someone, shall we go get a coffee? I mean, these days,
Yeah.
I literally just go, do you want to go get a hot chocolate and chat?
Yeah. So much easier.
Oh,
That's where voice notes come in handy, because like you can get that
100%.
tone of voice.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you structure your creative week to support how your brain works best?
I'm not one of those people that a lot of people, last minute change will affect them really badly. If they're thrown out of a routine, it throws them like for ages.
Yeah.
And they're in a bit of a fizz kind of thing. My weeks are so different, so sporadic, that I've kind of, because I've not known I'd not known what autism was really until I started working with autistic children. I've sort of just grown up, adapt, like the Bear Grylls, adapt, improvise, overcome kind of thing,
Yeah.
unintentionally. So my weeks change all the time. Like I might start the week very, very quietly. Like for example, this week I've got 3 shoots, and then Thursday and Friday is quiet, which I'll probably use to do some editing. But if, let's say, I get a last minute message tomorrow saying, oh, can you shoot on Thursday? I'll be like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, cool, I'll go in the diary. It won't be like, oh no, I've got to edit, or I've got to do this, I've got to do that. I'll literally just pop it in the diary, or be like, yeah, cool. And anything else needs moving, and I'll just be like, oh, cool, I'll do it later, do it. But I never miss like the deadlines. I'm always like locked in, or always find a time to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
do you have, I mean, with that in mind, do you have an idea of what a good day looks like for you? Like, if it's hard when you're in freelance because you can't really necessarily plan ahead. You can't have the same structure and routine. But if you did have a magic wand and you could go, like, would it be I create on some days and I edit on others? Would it be I create for 1 week and then I edit for a week after? Like, what might that structure look like if you had that freedom to fully curate your diary?
If I had my way, it would be like shoot in the morning, edit in the afternoon. I would never want like a week where it's like no shoots and it's just editing. I think I'd go mad if I was just stuck in my office, just editing, like be glued to my laptop. That's too like samey, and then it will feel like a 9 to 5. Like, yeah, respect to editors who literally just edit. They don't shoot. They know nothing about the tech of cameras and stuff. Fair play to them. I couldn't. Like, I always need something to break my week up, because otherwise it does feel like a 9 to 5.
So prior to being a photographer, illustration was sort of my background, and I spent quite a few years sort of working on illustration type projects. And actually, that was one of the things I really struggled with, was it felt monotonous. I wasn't even working on the same projects, but I wasn't leaving the house. I never saw people. And actually bringing the photography in, even though at one point in uni, I remember saying, I don't want to work with people. People are stressful. Yeah. I mean, how I made it this far without a diagnosis, who knows? But there is something about having that interaction with people, getting out of the house. Like, it just, as much as, I mean, maybe this is the ADHD in me talking, but I actually like that. Like, I like a little bit of structure, but at the same time, I'd just like, throw me a curveball. Like, I can handle it. So, yeah.
I like a little bit of structure. Let's say I have got that last minute shoot. Like, let's say I need to shoot a podcast on Wednesday. I know the episode goes out on Sunday. So like, I know I need a certain day to edit the podcast, get it signed off, then get the clips made, obviously get it uploaded and distributed. If, let's say, one of those days something came up, then I would be like, okay, it's going to be an evening edit, or I need to go to the office tonight. Like, but then I would just, adapt and improvise kind of thing, doing it live.
Which, I mean, you've been live editing some of this stuff as well. Yeah. So, I mean, that's probably helped in terms of like getting things out. You've been really leaning into podcasting lately, actually. What is it about podcasting that draws you into it as a creative outlet?
It's not too hard to do. really underselling it there, but you get to listen to really good conversations. Some of the podcasts I produce, some of them are like more funny, sort of YouTubery, social media trend kind of topics. Some, like, I've just started doing a podcast called The Blowout, which is 2 salon owners talking about like the state of the salon industry, which is a mess at the moment because of
Interesting.
government, tax, VAT, all that
Yeah,
sort of stuff, and changing customer behaviors. I know nothing about salons, but I'm learning about it, and I'm still finding it quite interesting.
I think there's, I can imagine it's, I love hearing someone's deep dive. It doesn't matter what the subject. If they speak passionate about it, I'm game. You know, I'll be following that up with a Google search later. But yeah, I can imagine you get like some really interesting topics of
And then like
conversation.
marketing podcasts, there's a few marketing ones or business ones, and they'll be talking about something and like, oh, this company did this campaign, and I'm like, okay, let's have a little look at it. And I'm like, oh shit, that's really interesting. And it's just constant learning, really. I constantly listen to podcasts, so if I'm not editing a podcast, I'm listening to a podcast.
So actually you're combining pleasure, joy with creativity and earning income. I mean, yeah, sounds like an absolute win to me.
Yeah, it is good fun. You meet cool people, you get to meet some cool guests, and yeah, you just get to learn a lot, which is quite nice.
Sounds epic.
It is pretty good.
Really epic. I mean,
this is the best podcast, so drop 5-star reviews.
I was going to say, yeah, where's this one rank? It's fine. We're literally on day 1 of recording. I'm not going to hold you to that. Also, to be honest, it's on you, so.
That's true, yeah. Production's on.
It's probably 10 hours of interesting content.
I'm going to hate editing my own voice later.
What client boundaries have you had to learn to protect your energy?
We spoke obviously about replying straight away. I'm usually quick to reply straight away, but with client jobs, like, and particular clients, there's a lot of my clients now are sort of like, we're pretty friendly.
Yeah.
And we will like chat non-work stuff. We'll send each other memes or Instagram reel ideas because it is fun. And we are like that level. But particularly with like the newer clients, just setting those immediate boundaries of, cool, you've messaged me at 10 o'clock tonight saying, thanks for the great shoot. Can you send us some photos tonight so I can put a post up tomorrow? I will, most of the time, 99.9% of the time, ignore that message and reply in the morning, or be like, hey S, so I don't trigger everybody's phones. Set a reminder to reply to this person at 9 a.m. So definitely like the late night messages from particular people, leave it to the morning. It's still going to be there. There's not that much of a rush.
I have a lot of that as well, and one of the things that I've done is go into both Instagram and WhatsApp, which are the 2 major ones, and I've removed the ability to see when I've read a message.
That's quite handy.
The WhatsApp one I've had for a good few years, but I didn't realize until recently you could do it on Instagram as well.
That's true, yeah.
And so, but to be honest, most of the time, if I'm honest, I will only open a message if I have the spoons to reply to it in that moment.
I'll see like the message pop up on like my notifications, and then if I can see that it's a work thing, I will just swipe it away. Avoid opening it.
For me, it's that, because I don't know about you, but if once a to-do tab is made, it kind of exists there until the task is done. And one way for me, I put them in I've got a Trello that I have, is on my phone and my desktop. So when I have these ideas, I chuck them in, and I've actually recently done it to like urgent, important, urgent, not important. Like, so it's got categories, and then there's like a today one for the stuff that has to be done like immediately. But if I open the tab then has to exist in the brain until the tab is dealt with. So not opening things, I think, has been my way of dealing with so much of it as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's important to set that boundary, I think, just for your own well-being and also client expectations as well. But you're paying for my time, but my time isn't infinite, like that kind of thing.
Oh my gosh, if we had infinite time, they always say, what would you do if you had an extra day? And unfortunately, I think I would just be more creative, learning. So I'm actually kind of glad there isn't an extra day.
Literally, I'll probably same like for another day to the week doing the same thing.
What does rest look like for you?
It's tricky because this never feels like work. So it's not too strenuous, except when I'm lugging all the gear, but Like,
Shout out to broken cars.
yeah, shout out to my Jeep, which I don't think is repaired yet. Meant to be today. We'll see in a few weeks' time when this is out if I get my Jeep back.
Yeah.
Rest for me, watching a series on Netflix or YouTube. I don't watch TV because TV's just, it's just lost it. It's not there anymore. I don't really watch TV.
I can't
Gaming.
comment. I don't even have my house doesn't even have an aerial, so it's Netflix or Disney Plus. I think it's all.
Yeah, Netflix or YouTube. Like throughout the day, if I'm say like out and about, see a YouTube video that I can't watch now, adds to my watch later thing. I've actually added so many watch laters videos. I've had to make them playlist on YouTube called New Watch Later, which is also getting filled up.
Yeah.
Like the gym when I can get there. So that's sort of like my rest and recovery. Sitting in the sauna for half an hour.
I mean, that sounds great to me.
That clears the mind, which is nice.
Wait, you're doing a podcast yesterday in a sauna?
In a sauna on a boat. The sauna was off.
Oh, the sauna? You know what? I was going to ask you that. I saw you posted in your stories yesterday. Oh, do you know what? Shout out to what's the podcast called?
The Hot Pod.
Shout out to the Hot Pod. What a great idea for.
Pretty cool. It's like, I think she's saying it was like the UK's first podcast in a sauna.
Oh, that sounds great.
That's a pretty cool claim. That's a pretty cool claim.
I'm going to have a listen to that. But yeah, I saw your camera equipment in there and I was like,
yeah.
I really hope it's not warm.
Yeah, when I got the initial message saying it's going to be in a sauna, I was like, okay. Panic. How are we going to navigate that? But also I was like, oh, it's fine. I've got fans on my camera and they'll be fine. Like, don't worry about it.
I mean, I was having flashbacks. Do you remember that day? It was one of mine, actually. You came along to create some content for one of my styled shoot days. And it was 42 degrees, I think, that day. And it was even hotter we were shooting in an aircraft hangar, weren't we? And cameras were melting and like shutting themselves down. And
super hot. But the sauna was off, which was nice. But come 3 o'clock when we had to pack up, they had to turn the sauna on to get it heated up for like 3:30 when it was back open to the public, and I was packing away in a hot sauna.
Oh,
it was boiling.
Oh my god, that's not what you want to be doing in a sauna.
In skinny jeans.
Over time, how has your autism changed your life, or knowing about, should I say, finding out about it, how has it changed your life?
I think when I first started that journey of looking into it, seeing if it was something that maybe, cluttering about up there, I think I was more nervous of me not being diagnosed and having the feeling of, no, this is just how you feel. You're just a human. It's just how you are.
That imposter syndrome. Am I not? Am I making this up? Is this actually? Did you ever feel? The way I have described it in the past is, I feel like if my life was a computer game, and when you can choose at the beginning whether you play on easy, normal, or hard mode, I felt like life was hard mode. And to be honest, it's not like anything's changed, but the diagnosis and knowing about it and understanding that about me has made it easier to be like, okay, well, I'm maybe not a normal mode, but I'm not playing in extreme.
For me, it was a weight off my shoulders.
Yeah.
It was a good sort of sigh of relief, kind of like a release of pressure, and I don't worry too much. Like I say, I'm quite a laid back, chill person. But then that I think I was quite stressed about, because waiting to see if I am autistic, and it explains so much about myself, then I was like, okay, that's cool. That makes sense. On we go. On to the next thing.
Do you have any advice for anyone who potentially, maybe even someone like me who's only just found out, or very new? What are some of the things that have helped you? What maybe is there a piece of advice that you have for someone who's literally just discovering this about themselves? Maybe they've just discovered this page of their own user manual.
Yeah, I'd say explore it as far as you feel like you're able and comfortable to go. Just explore it. Like, I think the first time I sort of looked into it, no, I don't know if it's still there, but Channel 4 had like a website. It was like an autism test. I think it was like 50 questions, and I think I scored like 47 out of 50. So I was like, okay, there's something there.
As in, do I have it kind of like his?
Sudden changes make me feel uncomfortable. Strongly agree.
Yes.
Don't agree. Doesn't apply, kind of thing. And it was just going through them and just figuring out different scenarios in my head, like, oh, how would I've reacted to that, or I do think like that, or
Yeah.
I do see things like this. Like for me, like my family would notice like the way I like tell the time, because I'm also dyscalculic, so numbers just don't compute with me at all. Yeah,
Not that
it's
I
called like number
throw maps
blindness.
at you very often, but
No, like it takes me ages to remember my own phone number or license plate and stuff. Like numbers just don't work well with me. I
I
think
cannot for the life of me. Like, there's just one, most of it, but there is one specific reg detail in it. Like, it's the second one, and I cannot for the life of me remember it. It's between two, but I cannot commit it to memory.
yeah,
So I'm always then having to question it, go back to the car and be
Yeah.
like, was it this?
I always take a picture of my
Yeah.
reg plate and keep it on there, just because I just don't remember numbers. It just doesn't compute. It was discovered by accident, dyscalculia. A person had a stroke. They just couldn't work with numbers, and it turned out during the stroke that the part that does numbers in the brain had shrunk. But then when they were also looking into it, they found that that area had also shrunk in non-stroke victims. So
How interesting.
yeah, but yeah, just like, what was the question again? See, I go into leaves with
Advice for people that maybe are questioning their neurodivergence or maybe are very recently diagnosed.
Yeah, I'd just say do your research, have a look into it. If you think there's something there, it's worth pursuing. It's definitely worth pursuing. A few of my friends recently, like one of my friends recently just got diagnosed, I think like on Friday, and it was kind of like a sigh of relief, and it like that explains a lot, weight off your shoulder kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as comfortable as you're willing to go with it, just look into it. Like the worst I can say is you're not, and you might,
Or actually,
you are. Yeah.
have you considered this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where can people find more of you if they want to check in, see some of your work? Maybe they need another podcast producer of their own.
Mostly Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't posted on my YouTube for a while. I do need to get back to that. I've I've slowed down on YouTube. You're about to kick it all off.
Well, you can get busy again.
Yeah, I need to at least start posting some more videos. I think the last one I posted was December or early December. Yeah, well, Instagram, TikTok, I'm trying to post more on. That's always quite funny.
We'll make sure all of your links are in the show notes. Is there anything else that you want to let anyone know about? Anything coming up for you?
Not particularly. Just doing my thing. Yeah.
Busy helping people create stuff and be visible.
Yeah. The art of doing nothing.
Of anyone in this world that says they're doing nothing, may I be the first to say it is not you. Well, thank you so much for your time today. As always, it's such a pleasure having these conversations with you and talking about things that we don't get to speak about very often. I will make sure everything is in the show notes. So anyone out there, if you are watching and you want to connect with Connor, find out more, again, see the beautiful photos you take, podcasts, you need someone for something like this and you're launching a project, please do reach out. I personally can recommend. If anything has resonated, please make sure you follow, subscribe, share the podcast. If you know someone who is going through a neurodivergent journey right now and might need this specific episode, please do gently throw this in their direction. And I will see you next week with another glorious episode. Just remember, if you've been watching this and you're finding your own user manual, you're not broken. You're just still finding that user manual.